Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Michelle Moreus and I make art tutorials that are fun, easy, and accessible for everyone. Before we get into the video, please subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment below, I subscribed, and I'll be sure to get back to each and every one of you. Today we're going to be doing this beautiful orange and red pepper in color pencil. I'll be using the Prismacolor Premier pencils on this one, but you can use whatever color pencils you have. So we're just going to map in at this point. We're going to go in with our lightest colors, and we're doing very light layers because color pencil works best in very light layers. And you want those underlying layers to show through your final product. So we're going to go in with several colors of orange and yellow on this pepper, and we're just being sure to keep our highlighted areas open so that we can keep them pure at the end. They'll really pop. So I really like to have a good accurate sketch to start with. So I really took my time and sketched in both my peppers. I've given my highlighted areas, I have given my dark areas, and all of the details that I need to follow along as I'm going in. So you want to make sure you have a really good sketch in the beginning, and this will help you as your roadmap as you go along and fill in the pieces. So I like to get a really good light layer down on everything at this point. So I'm just going to go in and I'm just going to kind of fill in everything with my lightest layers. And then gradually as we go along, I'm going to darken things up where they need to be darker. You can still go in with an eraser if you need to, if you've gone over a highlight or something of that nature. But really just trying to get down a good light coat of pencil on the paper at this stage in the game. Now we're going to go in with a little bit of solvent later on, and the solvent will melt all of those colors together and fill in all of the whiteness of the grain of the paper. So you don't want to push too hard in the beginning. We can burnish at the end, but right now just a real light layer, and I start with my lightest colors and then gradually build up to my darker tones and my mid-tones. So one of the things I do before I start doing my drawing, after I've done my sketch, is I like to swatch out all of my pencils. So I'll do on a piece of paper, I'll draw like a small little pepper, and I'll test out my colors. A lot of times the color on the barrel of the pencil doesn't quite match what color comes out, the final look of that color. So I like to swatch all those out way before I even get started putting anything down, and then I have them next to me and readily available. So in this case I used about 3 different or 4 different shades of red, and I used a couple different shades of yellow and orange for the orange pepper, and then 3 or 4 shades of green. So you definitely want to have a light tone, a mid-tone, and a deep tone. And you can use many more colors than just that. I like to kind of keep it a little more simple, and I'm going in with some white as well. I'm going to put some white on those highlights to try to preserve them. This way I don't go over with too much pencil and muddy them up. So I'm going over all of my areas now, and we're just darkening everything up. We're just gonna enrich everything and add to what we've put down as our base layer. And things really blend a lot easier when you have a base layer down, so things start to blend better. And you can gradually increase the pressure as you go along. We're not really at the burnishing stage yet, but the things that you know that are going to be dark, you can go ahead and increase the pressure on. I'm still going in lightly and just adding a whole bunch of my midtones and dark tones onto my peppers to try to define my areas a little bit. And we're just going to keep going and keep adding, and it's going to start to pop and come alive. So I'm referring to my reference image, and just following along with what I see and just taking one little area at a time. If you get lost sometimes, it's helpful to just take one little part of it, like this little stem here, and you just take one area at a time and you just keep going. I'm more like, if I have that color in my hand, I'm going to go to both stems and I'm going to switch off back and forth and put that color in where I need to. And this way I'm not switching pencils every 2 seconds. But you can find what works for you and just follow along. And if you get stuck, sometimes if you step away, you can get a little fresh perspective when you come back to it. But just keep going in, follow that reference image, and just keep gradually adding. So, and I'll switch from my dark pencil back to my mid-tone pencil and kind of blend things together a little bit. If I see that an area is needing a little bit more attention, I'll go back to it. But we're really just building on the base layers that we have put down already. And you'll see this is important after we use our solvent. We're going to go back in and we're going to reassess and see what we need to do to change things. I think one of the most important things about realistic drawing is that you really have to take it and push it as far as you can push it. What I mean by that is you could just stop now and be like, okay, that's a nice drawing of a pepper, but I like to just keep pushing it and keep pushing those values and tones and make sure that I have my darks and my midtones and every range of values in between. So the realistic aspect of it is really to give great contrast. So you want to have the contrast between your highlighted area and your deep shadows. And that's kind of what I'm doing now. I'm really going ahead and I'm pushing those values, and everything's going to start to really pop and, you know, come alive and look realistic. So we're already getting there. And the darker that I go with my dark shadow against my highlight, you can see it really starts to get a 3D effect. So at this part in the drawing, I'm going in and I'm burnishing. What burnishing means is it's gradually increasing the pressure on the pencil. Up until now, we've kept the pretty light pressure on the pencil. Now I'm adding more pressure to blend all those underneath layers together with my top layers. And I like to burnish with a lighter color, not with my darkest color. And this way, it kind of just mushes everything together and gives it a smoother effect. And I'm going in with my stubby little white pencil and I'm trying to put a nice transition between my dark and my highlight. I really should have a pencil holder for this because my white Prisma's gotten so small now it's hard to hold. But you know, I use my pencils until they're down to nothing, and that's perfectly fine. If you're liking the tutorial today, please smash that like button. YouTube loves it when I get interactions from my patrons, and I love it too. If you want to leave a comment, that would be fabulous, and I love to hear from each and every one of you, and I do get back to all of you. So leave me a little comment and smash that like button. Be sure to check in with me every Thursday. I put out new content, so there'll be a new video around 1 o'clock every Thursday afternoon. So please join me with that. And if you'd like to get notified, hit the notification bell under the subscription mark in the box below. So we're fine tuning now. We're just going and we're just cleaning everything up and just refining seeing if we need to darken anything or lighten anything, where I need a little white or where I need to blend a little more. All that's going on, just refining before we're done doing our peppers here. So I'm just adding little highlights in those water spots and just figuring out if I need to darken anything up at this stage in the game. I'm going in with a little craft knife and just kind of scraping off some of the top layers of wax in some spots where I felt like I needed a little more highlight. And I go over this technique in my cat eye video, which I will reference up above. If there's a technique or a specific medium or content that you guys would like to see, please leave it in the comment below. I'm always looking for fresh ideas, and I'm trying to keep it fresh for you guys too, trying to keep a variety of subjects to make it interesting for you to keep joining in on my channel. I have pastel tutorials, color pencil, watercolor, and more. So just leave me a comment below, and I'd love to hear what you guys want to see. So thanks so much. I want to thank each and every one of you for helping to support my channel. I'm hoping that you're enjoying my content, and I'm really enjoying doing this for you. So thanks so much for joining me, and we'll see you on the next one. Happy art.